Mm. Oh, hello, everybody. Welcome to Explorer Classroom. My name is Jennifer Bergen, and I am so glad that you are joining us today. March is Women's History Month. We hope all of our viewers are taking time to learn about the amazing contributions of women in their communities and all across history. You know, at National Geographic, we know the power of exploration, wonder, and storytelling can change the world. And this Explorer Classroom YouTube show connects students from all over the world with our National Geographic Explorers for a short lesson and time for your questions. And today, our explorer is Jeff Kerby. Jeff is an ecologist and a photographer, which means he studies our world and all the living things in it and documents what he learns with a camera. Jeff works with a team to tell stories about our world, and photographs help him share what his team learns with everybody. Sometimes Jeff takes pictures from really far away and has to use a drone. Other times he gets very close to objects and uses a special kind of photography to capture teeny tiny things. And Jeff's work has taken him all over the globe. Pretty soon he's going to go to the Arctic and in search of the most northern life in the world. He and his team suspect that anything living that far north in such a harsh and cold environment, it's probably going to be little. And he's going to tell you all about this expedition and his ideas of how he can share what he finds with his team when he goes to the Arctic. But before we get into today's lesson, let's welcome all of our registered guests who have signed up and they're tuning in from all over the world. We'd like to welcome Arlington Public Schools, Planet English School, Pearl City Elementary School, St. Benedict School, Charlton Park Academy, IDEA, Voltaire High School, Green Hill School, Julia A. Barnes Elementary School 12, Kalispell Middle School, Stevenson Elementary, St. Peter Lutheran School, Miami Shores Elementary, Kitson Central, Gilmore Fine Arts K through 8 School, Hillard City School District, Northeast Elementary, all of our homeschoolers out there, hey, and Creekside Elementary School. We're so glad you're registered with us, and we're so happy you and many more are joining in. With that, I'm ready to hand it over to Jeff. We're going to get this Explorer Classroom started, and he's going to tell us all about the search for the northernmost life and how to take photographs of little things. Jeff, take it away. Oh, turn on your sound, Jeff.
Hey, all right. Hey, everybody. I am so excited to be able to talk with all of you today and to tell you about a little trip, or a pretty big trip that we have planned coming up this next summer. But I'm most excited about getting questions from you. So please think of any questions about the Arctic or traveling there, and feel free to ask them to me after I've told you a little bit about our plans and what it's like to take pictures of very little things. So this summer, we're going to a special place, a place that not many people have ever been to, and maybe no people have ever been to. We're trying to find the northernmost place on land in the world. And we want to find the northernmost plant that lives there. So where could this be? Well, if we take a look at a map, we can look at where we are. And I'm going to use a little spotlight right here. All right, can you see me drawing on the map here? Great. So right now I'm living in Denmark, which is a country right here. But to go to the northernmost place, we have to go north on the map. And if we look around, you can see that there's this one huge island here, and that's called Greenland. And at the very northern tip of that, we have the location of the northernmost land, or so we think. So I'm going to head up there with the team. And if you look at this map, think about where you are in the world and how far away the northernmost place can be. Ooh, I still have annotation there. All right, can you help me erase this? All right, what's special about being way up north though? It's very different than other places. Even in the summertime, it can be really cold. There can be ice in the water, and you have to really bring the appropriate gear and clothing and mindset with you. There's other special things too, like in the summer, there's no nighttime. The sun is in the sky all through the day and all through the night. It never gets dark. But then the opposite is true in the nighttime. In the winter, it's only darkness, even during the day. So I'm happy that we're going to visit in the summertime because we'll be able to see things a little bit better. But I'm not going up to the Arctic by myself. I'm going as part of a team. And our goal is to find the northernmost plant in the world. So, and these are the people that I'll be working with. I'll be joining an ecologist, Brian Buma. I'll be going to take pictures and to do some science and fly drones. We'll also have a geologist, Ole Benecke, and we're working with an educator, Kim Young. So this is a big team effort, and we all have different jobs. But my job is to focus on photography and to use pictures to tell stories about what we might see. So I get to use all sorts of fun gear like this. I have cameras, I have drones, and it's a lot of stuff to bring when I start thinking about what the goals are. So maybe we can just work together here and take a little a moment to think about what it's like to go on this place. Let's imagine ourselves going on a trip to the Arctic. So before you go on a trip, you have to think about some things, right? Like, what do we bring? What do you bring to a place where it can be really cold and it's kind of far away? I have an idea. Let's just think about some stuff. You could type it into the chat, or you could talk with your teacher. What do you bring to a cold place? Well, I'm going to try to stop sharing my screen for a second so you can see some stuff in my office. You want to bring some warm boots. These are huge boots that keep your feet dry and they keep them really cozy, even if it's cold outside. You want to bring binoculars, right? That way you can see things that are far away and kind of get a good sense of what might be in the area. What other things would you bring to a cold place? This is a sleeping bag. So this will keep me warm if I'm sleeping at night. And I'm not going to be sleeping in a house because there's no houses in this area. It's far away from any place that people live. So if we just take a zoom back into the pictures. Oops, let me share my screen here. We can look about where I'll be living. So this is my house. I'll be in a tent with all of the other people that are up there. We'll each have our own little tents and we'll have sleeping bags inside. We might even have a bigger sleeping bag. So you can pop this out and it's like a huge coat that you just wear at night. It keeps you really, really warm. So we've got all that stuff. Staying warm is important. But then the question is, how do we get there? Should we rent a car and maybe fill it up with all of the stuff that we're bringing? That would be a pretty long drive, but I think it would be impossible too because of all the ocean that's in the way. What we can do instead is take an airplane. And this is a very special kind of airplane. It's pretty small, but it will be just for us. And it will come and land on the ground, not a regular runway. So this is what a picture of the inside of it looks like. And it's not like other airplanes where you might just bring a bag or something. You can bring all sorts of things on this airplane. Here's a picture of loading a four-wheeler, a type of machine that you can ride. You could even bring those with you on this kind of airplane. So that'll take us on this long journey and we'll arrive in the far north. And then we can try to start thinking about what we'll see. So what do you think we'll see when we get there? Will we see penguins? No, we won't see any penguins. There's no penguins in the Arctic. They live down in the Antarctic. Will we see big trees all over the place? Probably not. In fact, definitely not. There's no big trees up there. But do you know why there aren't any big trees? Maybe because it's just too cold and too tough in the wintertime for anything to grow, and everything gets frozen. So what will we see then? Well, we might see something that looks like this. This is really big open landscapes that used to be covered in ice not that long ago, and the ice scraped off lots of stuff from the surface. So now you just have bits of dirt, some streams, and maybe little plants. But if we walk around and say we leave our tents and we go out for a walk, we can start looking at those little plants and see big mountains in the background. Maybe we should take out our binoculars. Do you see something off in the distance if we look through our binoculars? I don't know. Can you tell what that is? Is that a cat? Is it a dog? I don't know. Let's take a look. Oh man, it's a polar bear over there. Okay, we have to pay attention to what we're doing when we walk around in these environments, because there are potentially lots of animals. And polar bears are very curious and they have good noses. So we don't want to get too close to them because they might want to check us out a little bit. Let's walk somewhere else, okay? Oh, we could bump into a fox. So I've seen so many foxes in the Arctic, and they're very, very curious creatures as well. I always have this problem though, that they like to chew on stuff that I leave on the ground up there. One time this fox came up to some of the material that I had and it peed all over the box of things. So I had to work with this stinky fox pee box afterwards. So maybe we should walk through another place from here too. Oh, we could see big hares. This is an Arctic hare. This is like the size of some people's dogs. So that's really cool to see. Ooh, plants. Maybe we're getting near the northernmost point in the world here, because this is where there's only a few things growing. You can see it's mostly ice and rocks. So if we zoom in and look at these plants, we can get a sense of what they might look like. Oh, wait, hold on. There's something else there too. Oh, this is one of my favorite parts of getting up close and looking at the details of things. You can see things that maybe you would miss if you just walk past them normally. What is this? You think it's a mosquito? Are there many mosquitoes in the Arctic? Do you have those where you live? Well, here's a picture or a little video of what it's like for me sometimes when I work in the Arctic in the summertime. So you have to be totally prepared to get bitten and get your blood sucked a little bit if you go to certain places. Even if you're trying to work, they don't leave you alone. So we have to be very mindful of how many mosquitoes there can be. But fortunately, this is usually a little bit lower or further south in the Arctic. At the northernmost tip, I think it will be too cold for them. So we're pretty lucky. Sometimes also you see birds, like this bird that landed on my head. And what do birds eat in that part of the world? Well, pretty much anything they can find, including mosquitoes. So this was a nice friend to have. It was helping by eating all the bugs out of my hair. So if we do find this northernmost bit of land, I'm going to go there with my camera and I'm going to have a big job. It's to take some pictures of plants. So plants are interesting. They're all around us in the world, but I really like getting up close to them. And this is something that you can do too. So I encourage you to go outside after we're done talking today and to find some plants, because that's an easy thing to do. But then to get up close and look at all of the beautiful little patterns. So these are all pictures I've taken of plants. And there's a special way you can do that. It's just by taking your camera and putting it really close. There's different kinds of cameras though. I think I have a few examples lying around here. So this is one of my biggest cameras that I have. It's really heavy and it's a pain to carry around because it makes my back hurt. But it's really cool because you can take pictures of stuff that's far away. This isn't very good for taking pictures of plants though, because you can't really get close to it. This right here is a different kind of lens. So this allows me to get really close to the plants, and I can show you how it attaches. So it kind of looks like a stick. But what you do is you attach it to the end of the camera. You pop it on, and then you can zoom way in and get really close to the plant like this, and then start taking pictures. So that's what all these pictures are from on this slide that you see right here. And you know, you don't even need really special cameras to take cool pictures. You can just use your cell phone. That's what I do for a lot of the time. I use mine to get up close and take pictures. And then if you have a flashlight or something like that, you can take lights and go on the side and get up close and try all sorts of different lightings. And you can get really neat pictures where plants will look special in ways that you didn't see them if you were just walking past. So that's kind of my goal when I get up to the north, is to find this plant and give it a lot of attention, take tons of pictures of it to find a new way of seeing it. And to kind of wrap up a little bit on photography, it's great because it can make things look pretty, but it's also information that lasts forever. So you can have this picture and you can share it with people 5, 10, 100 years from now, and they can see what a place looks like or what a plant looks like. And so that's why scientists love pictures as well. It's a way to store knowledge and to share that knowledge. And it's a great way to get out and go exploring. So that's what I encourage you to do, is to join us on this expedition. We don't have to go to the northernmost point in the world to have an exploration and to get up close and take cool pictures. Find a cell phone, work with your teachers or your parents, and go out and take some really cool pictures of plants. And if you send them to us in our group, we'll be able to share them and talk about how much fun it is, and learn how to tell even better stories by doing that. And so I encourage you to follow up and be a part of this expedition. And you can follow along as step by step we start getting ready for the trip, and go on the trip and share all of the exciting things that we see. So with that, I want to say thanks very much. And I am so excited to talk about the Arctic, northernmost land, photography, or any other sciencey questions you might have.
Well, friends out there, we're beginning to run out of time. You've had so many great questions. So I want to ask one last one on all of our behalf. Jeff, how can we take on your mission and get students and classrooms involved in your upcoming expedition?
Well, thanks for asking that. I think there's a couple different ways. One is just go out and start exploring yourselves, because we're all sharing the general goal of learning more about the world around us. But if you want to follow along, and I really encourage you to do so, please check back on this, and I can even share this slide again, about the information that we have. Can you see my screen right now?
Here it comes. Yeah, got it.
So you can sign up by going and emailing us at this address, or scanning the QR code. And what we'll be doing is having updates from our websites. You can track us as we move further north and hear about the discoveries that we make on the expedition. And there'll be all sorts of activities and other features, including kind of thinking about how we can best guess which plant or other kind of life form might be at the northernmost point in the world. So yeah, please join us on this journey, and I really look forward to having you along.
Well, I can't wait to get my school involved. And Jeff, thank you so much for your time today.
Thank all of you for all the wonderful questions.
Classrooms, homeschool families, learners everywhere, thank you so much for your time today. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you join in following Jeff and his team's expedition. And I hope you come back to Explore Classroom. We've got some really great shows coming up. Next week, we're going to learn about the kind of geology that literally will change land and river paths. So we'll meet with explorer Nicolas Perez Consuerga. And then in the future, we're going to learn all about air plants with explorer Ana Maria Benavides. So make sure you register and find out what's going on with us at natgeoed.org/Explore Classroom. Have a great day, everyone. Stay curious,